So sorry to interrupt you there, Ananya. We need to quickly shift our attention to more breaking news coming in. Remember, a lot of fireworks being witnessed in the ongoing budget session of the Parliament. In the latest, we're learning that the Congress has decided to move a privilege complaint against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You know, we've seen this come at a time. There are a lot of barbs being exchanged between the government, the union ministers and the treasury, the opposition benches, wherein the opposition of course has been hurling several attacks at the government. The government has been responding with equal force, but in the latest, this is the Congress's next big move. They have decided to move privilege complaint against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This also comes at a time that we saw an extremely heated exchange between Anurag Thakur and also Rahul Gandhi yesterday on the floor of the House, and earlier today as well. The opposition, of course, taking this as an opportunity and using this against the NDA Sarkar. In fact, asking the BJP why leader's caste is being spoken of while hitting out at him. Let me go across to Arunima joining us with more details. Arunima, tell us a little bit about the manner in which the Congress has decided to now move this privilege complaint against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Where is this coming from?
Congress MPs are telling us that a decision has been taken that they want to move a privilege notice against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If they had done so against Anurag Thakur, it would have been more understandable, since they are accusing Anurag Thakur of insulting Rahul Gandhi, and he's a member of parliament as well. So if one member of parliament insults another MP, then you can claim it's a breach of your privilege. It would have been more understandable had they said that they want to bring this against Anurag Thakur. But instead, what the Congress MPs are saying is that a decision has been taken by the Congress party to bring this complaint against the Prime Minister himself. We're waiting for an official clarification from Congress at some point to tell us as to why they think a case is made out of privilege, breach of privilege against the Prime Minister. But essentially, I think what they are pointing out, or what they're alluding to, is the fact that Prime Minister tweeted Anurag Thakur's entire speech in which he made that comment without naming anybody. And at that point, Jagdambika Pal was in the chair, and he indicated that expunging that portion of Anurag Thakur's speech could happen. So I think the Congress is trying to make the case that if it had to be expunged, how can the Prime Minister tweet out the entire part? But that is still being speculated. We are waiting for Congress to officially tell us as to why they think a case is made out against the Prime Minister.
Okay, all right. Let's also take in a word from Pallavi, who joins us with more. Stay on with us, Arunima. Pallavi, very interesting. We saw that kind of a heated exchange between Anurag Thakur and Rahul Gandhi, also Akhilesh Yadav in the Parliament yesterday. And that, of course, was being escalated both by the opposition and the NDA today itself. But the Congress now deciding to move privilege complaint against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In all likelihood, this is because of the Prime Minister endorsing Anurag Thakur yesterday. He took to social media and said, he must be heard on the manner in which he's taking on the opposition. Yeah.
Just could come quickly to the point, the grounds on which that they are moving the privilege motion, not just on Anurag Thakur, but they want to bring in the Prime Minister, is very clear. That is because of the tweet which came out in support of Anurag Thakur moments after there was uproar over Anurag Thakur's speech targeting Rahul Gandhi. In that tweet which came in from the Prime Minister actually congratulated and also patted Anurag on the grounds that a young colleague of mine has spoken out very well as far as the reply on the budget of 2024 is concerned. According to Congress, the fault now remains not just with Anurag Thakur, but it goes beyond that, because the Prime Minister should have actually criticized Anurag Thakur. He should have ensured that this comment was expunged from the records of the Parliament. But when the Prime Minister himself steps forward and defends him and congratulates him, he's actually endorsing this kind of a language. And therefore, it makes a fit case for a breach of privilege motion to be moved against the Prime Minister himself. Essentially, the privilege motion means it's a breach or violation of the privileges enjoyed by the Member of Parliament. In this case, of course, the reference is to the leader of the opposition, the LOP, Rahul Gandhi himself. And that is the grounds on which Congress has decided to move this motion against the PM.
Okay. Also, Pallavi, tell us a little bit about the manner in which, we've seen the BJP hit back to what Rahul Gandhi and several in the opposition are now raking, and now not just using against Anurag Thakur, the former union minister, but also against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The BJP spoken of two aspects in hitting back at the Congress party. Quickly comment on that.
Well, I will reply to this very quickly on this point. The fact is that yesterday what happened really was the fact that, you had a comment which took place by Anurag Thakur, the defense coming in from the BJP is that we never made a reference to Rahul Gandhi. The insinuation, according to Congress party, backed by the rest of the India bloc parties, is that, he was actually referring to Rahul Gandhi, which is why you had the LOP to stand up to say that, I'm not going to expect an apology. I don't want it. The more you hit and insult me, the more it is going to endorse and determine my stand that we really need to have a caste census. So caste census has now become once again the focal point of the Congress's strategy against the BJP. But this time round, that part of the parliamentary strategy of the Congress always has been keep on attacking the Prime Minister, keep the focus on the PM, which explains why the privilege motion is targeted at the PM specifically.
Okay, let's also quickly take in a word from our executive editor Aman Sharma, who joins us with more. Aman, tell us a little bit about how the BJP is looking at this overall picture. We've seen the rebuttal that's come in from the Bharatiya Janata Party, of course, being led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself and endorsing Anurag Thakur after the comments he made in the parliament yesterday. How are they viewing this overall?
See, I think the BJP has thrown its full weight behind Anurag Thakur, especially after the Prime Minister's tweet last night. The party is obviously taking a cue from the Prime Minister, backing Anurag Thakur, putting out his entire speech on social media and saying it exposes the hypocrisy of the Congress. And today we had Kiran Rijiju, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, in fact, come out and openly say that why are those people so scared when their caste is asked, when they themselves want to ask everybody's caste, when if a caste census is done as what is the demand on the Congress and the Samajwadi Party sources in the government here who were there in the parliament today told me that, Anurag Thakur seems to have hit a raw nerve of the opposition. He seems to have hit where it hurts because he's saying that the opposition is basically being hypocritical on the issue of the caste census, how Nirmala Sitharaman in the House has cited statements of Jawaharlal Nehru to Indira Gandhi to Rajiv Gandhi to say how they were always against reservation, and Rahul Gandhi is now going against the flow because he sees some political benefits of bringing this, mandal politics back into the discourse right now. So the BJP is firmly backing Anurag Thakur here. Anurag Thakur's comments, the expungation which, which the person in the chair yesterday, Jagdambika Pal, had proposed, that expunging was also not happened. So far, we have no clarity. The comments are very much out on social media. So the BJP is very clear that the Congress needs to be exposed on the issue of the caste census because this is something on which Congress has always been against in the past, and it is only due to some short-term political gains that the Congress is drumming up this demand. This is in fact an effort to divide the society on the issue of caste, and the BJP does not stand in its favor. And I think that is why we see BJP leaders one after the other now coming out in the defense of Anurag Thakur and are slamming the Congress for making this non-issue, as they say, into issue, especially because Anurag Thakur did not name anybody when he made that comment, and Rahul Gandhi himself stood up and said he does not want the apology of Anurag Thakur. So what is the purpose of this privilege motion? That is what the BJP leaders in the parliament are now asking. Okay, all right. Let's also try and understand a little bit about the merit, in the Congress now deciding to move the privilege complaint against Prime Minister Modi. Payal joins us with more details. Payal, is this going to be a powerful punch on part of the opposition, if at all? Because remember, the Prime Minister endorsing Anurag Thakur had spoken of whatever he did on social media, not on the floor of the House.
Yes, the Congress party, in fact, seems to be a little bit on an offensive because they want to actually corner the government, and they do understand that the OBC votes can be extremely critical in the upcoming 3 elections, especially in Maharashtra, where it seems that a lot of OBC votes had deserted